What's up, everybody? This is Lego My Dega giving you guys a review of my Stamina Nightblade on Elder Scrolls Online. This character was one of my first characters created. I just recently got back into the game. I purchased it this summer, but I was living in Ocean City, so I figured it would probably be a good idea to put the video games down for a little while and just enjoy the beach life. So I just did that. I didn't really get to play it too much. But I'm going to get into my character, my build, and just a little bit more about the game itself and skills that I found useful, skills that I found unuseful, etc. Everything like that. So the first thing I'm going to start off with is I just took a consumable, so my max health and max stamina bars are going to be a little higher than they should. I think they're increased by about 3,000, 3,500 each. So I'll just show you my character sheet real quick. So I have like 1,800 max health and 21.5k, or 18,000 max health and 21.5k max stamina. My magicka is always 20 or 9,600 around there, but my max health is usually around like 1,500, and my max stamina is around about 1,800. My weapon critical is 62.7, while I'm rocking my dual daggers, and it's at 62.7%. If you notice, I'm going to switch weapons real quick. When I switch weapons, it goes down to 59.7, and so does my weapon damage. Obviously, because I have two pieces of, I believe it's Night Mother's Gaze, it increases weapon critical. Whatever it is, yeah, Night Mother's Gaze. So when I have my dual wields up, I have 4 out of 5 pieces, which adds 544 weapon critical, which is that extra couple percent, instead of the 3 out of 5 whenever I have my bow equipped. And just so you get to see that, I'll switch. Now I have 4 out of 5 pieces in my Mother's Gaze. But anyway, so I'm going to give you guys the rundown first. Okay, so I run dual wield daggers, and this is mainly because of the skill in the dual wield bar that goes down to twin blade and blunt. This grants a bonus based on the type of weapon equipped. So axes, give bleed damage. Mace can ignore physical resistance, and dagger increases. Each dagger increases weapon critical rating by like 900 or so. So I'm doing that. So I'll start with the skills I use first. First one I use is Blinding Fury. I think it's one of the first skills. I don't know what the unmorphed version is, but it's basically where you just, stab an enemy in the stomach. I'll show you. Okay, so that's it. The first hit, what I have for the morph is that it has a chance to knock them off balance. Each hit has a 7% chance of setting the enemy off balance. This will help me, if they're off balance, hit them so they fall down. And I use that skill a lot to start off my combos. Okay, so the next skill that I use is Assassin's Blade, morphed into Killer Blade. This is based off of stamina now for the morph, and it does 300% damage to targets below 25% health, and it heals you. So this is one of my, finisher moves so that I can keep my health up. I use Dark Cloak for my dual wield daggers, mainly just to get away, to sneak through delves and everything. I can get through a pretty hard delve, go in, kill the boss, get the Sky Shard. If it's like, relatively easy to maneuver around, not too confusing to find the Sky Shard in about 5 to 10 minutes, as opposed to me trying to kill everybody and taking 30. My next skill, this one kind of alternates. Sometimes I use Silver Leash, depending on if I'm killing Daedra or an undead, and sometimes I use Steel Tornado, which is a good area effect. I'll just show you what that looks like. It's just that. It's just an area damage, AoE. And then I would use Shrouded Dagger sometimes. This is, reduces movement speed and does physical damage. The only difference between Hidden Blades and Silver Leash basically is, besides the bonus damage to Daedra with Silver Leash, if it knocks Daedra down, doesn't have a movement speed decreaser, so they don't lose any movement speed, unlike Hidden Blade. But it'll pull them towards you, and it does extra damage against Daedra and undead, and also werewolves if you put a point into that skill. So yeah, sometimes I'll keep it as Silver Leash though for now. And then my last skill is Ambush. I use this as my right bumper. Flash through the shadows, ambush an enemy. Grants 20% extra damage on your next attack, and if the target player is a player, they are immobilized for 1 second. So this is good in the Cyrodiil, and it does a lot of damage, and it stuns people. And then I use Devouring Swarm. It's the vampire skill. You know, deals magic damage every second, and you're invisible for the duration. But it also siphons 1638 health from each affected enemy. So this is good to, you know, try and keep your health up. So we'll go into the assassination perks. Okay, so actually I'm going to switch my weapons and show you my bow right now. Okay, so I use Venom Arrow. This is one of the first skills in the bow skill line. I believe it, actually. Okay, and you know, you shoot an arrow coated in poison, dealing poison damage, and additional poison damage over 10 seconds. But also what's good about it is whenever enemies are about to hit you with, you know, let's say they're about to throw a dagger at you or something from far range, and they start to get that red mist around them. If you hit them with this and time it perfectly, it'll knock them down and set them off balance, and then you can hit them with a heavy attack to knock them on the ground. And then I rock Expert Hunter. This is the one that turns my bow purple. It just gives you a 15% chance to cause 4169 magic damage against undead and Daedra, and 4% chance against all other enemies. And it also, while slotted, easier to see Daedra and undead. You gain major savagery, increasing your weapon critical rating by 1876. This is not just for Daedra and undead. This weapon critical rating goes towards everything while it's slotted. So I have extra weapon critical on my bow, but not my daggers, because it's not slotted on my daggers. Then I use siphoning. This is where I get, you know, to build up my magicka and stamina. Since I do a lot of dodge rolling, a lot of running around, it's good for me to, you know, be able to regenerate some of my stamina pretty quickly. So every basic hit restores 877 magicka and stamina. I have 15 seconds to use it as many times as I want, and it's relatively quick to shoot your bow fast. You can see that's 877 magicka and stamina every time. Then the next skill is focused aim. This is snipe, morphed, masterfully planted arrow in an enemy's vital spot, dealing 7,000 physical and marking the target. This is a pretty good combo I use with my Reaper's Mark, but I'll get to that in a little bit. Mark increases the range from which an enemy can be hit by bow attacks by 5 meters, so I can stand a little bit further back now, the last 10 seconds. And it also inflicts minor fracture, which reduces physical resistance. So this will make my next few attacks hit hard. And then I use Reaper's Mark, which is how I'm going to heal myself, physical resistance and spell resistance. You know, and when a marked enemy dies, restored for 60% of your max health. You can only mark 1 target per turn, and you gain major berserk, increasing damage by 25%. And then Dawnbreaker is the Fighter's Guild special, and it's good against Daedra and undead and regular people. So let me just show you a little bit. Mark this guy. Charge up. Hit him with focused aim. And obviously, guys, I just want you to know this build is more for PvE. I haven't really gotten a chance to, you know, try out PvP. There's a few obviously changes I would make, but nothing that you need to worry about right now, because this is just a PvE, player versus enemy, just build, and it's a lot of fun, and it'll help you out soloing delves and everything. So I'm gonna mark him, so that whenever he dies, I'm going to get full health, pretty much. There we go, there's full health. Ambush. And then I can also, since I'm a vampire, feed if I want. No, but he's not a humanoid. Smoke him real quick. This is where Silver Leash comes in pretty good. Pull him in. Oh, he died. Knock her down, pull her over, just start teeing off. I'm running low on stamina. Oh, he didn't not be recovered. An anchor. Dead. Conifer. Pinion. We'll hit these out of the way. So as you can see, I'm just, I'm using my bow skill for 2 skills. I have 2 attacking skills, and then the rest of what I have is used for support, basically. That's how it should be, because you want your main hand to be your damage causer. So I have my main hand as my daggers.
And shade and
Just check out the range on snipe. Probably 2 hit. What? Didn't even hit it. Save my buddy out here. Well, like I said, with the vampire ability, there's a lot you can sacrifice. Like that.
your strength will be rewarded one day.
Beat that. Pretty easy. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys a little bit about the build. The weapons I use. Okay, so I'm using 4 out of 5 pieces of Night Mother's. So my dagger is Night Mother's Gaze. My second dagger is Night Mother's Gaze. My bow is Night Mother's Gaze. My head is Hunting's Rage. This adds 552 weapon critical, max stamina, weapon critical, weapon damage. This is weapon critical, weapon damage, weapon critical. So I have 5 out of 5 for Hunting's Rage, 4 out of 5 most of the time with Night Mother's Gaze, and I don't really have any sets for the rings, they're too expensive. I'll buy those when I'm vet 16. And then the others, so basically that's what I have. I focus on Vampire, all this stuff. Dark Stalker, increased movement speed while sneaking, everything good like that. Fighter's Guild, just Dawnbreaker, Silver Leash, Expert Hunter. Wood Elf skills, all of them are all the way up. I have pretty good skills here, woodworking, provisioning. Don't need that yet. Enchanting's nice. And by the way, you don't really need for runestones this any higher than 1, because the runestones emit a light anyway that's very easy to see. So I'm hoping to get these up pretty soon. But yeah, so that's my build. If you guys have any questions, any recommendations, I'm not the best player out there by no means. These are just the skills that I found very useful. Some of the skills that I've come to acquire an affection for almost. Just like, I enjoy using them. They're better than other skills I've tempered with. Just let me know what you guys think.